What's up, you guys? Not to act reckless. Whom much is given, much is tested.
Hey.
That's right.
Oh, I'm going in with the gunshots today, baby.
Emptying the clip.
Hey.
Act more stupidly.
I'm at the gun range.
Nah, we not. We at the bank.
Hopefully not. Actually,
no. Let's hope
suing.
nobody's
We're not
suing.
gonna speak
No,
that.
we're not
into
manifesting
existence.
that. No.
I
I
ain't
got
gonna.
it. Damn, man.
Hold on. I guess I should have forgot
Where I came from.
Which we won't. We're not gonna forget where we came from.
Yeah,
we're not.
we're not.
But guys, in welcoming you to episode
77
of the See the Thing Is podcast,
Mm-hmm.
I would like to start by making an announcement first. Let me
Give
go
us,
ahead
give
and
us a round of applause. Give us a motherfucking round of applause, okay? Because Mandii and I have been holding this from
we
y'all.
have been holding it in from you guys for a minute. And we are here to announce that we have officially signed a multi-year 7-figure motherfucking deal with Gumball.
That's right. Shout out to Gumball.
Shout out to Gumball. Hold on. Let me get in the air horn time. This has been quite the journey for us. My goodness. Shout out to Dane over at Gumball for truly believing us.
Yes.
I also want to shout out our agents,
Shelby and Ben.
Shout out to them over at UTA.
So much.
And then of course our attorney Marcy for getting us all the coins.
Listen, with all the words and all the form and all the long form and short form agreements. Thank you, Marcy. We love you, sis.
And here's the thing too. One of the most important things I think, and I'm going to ask you for this, for any of the creators listening, it was really important to maintain our IP.
Yep.
And in doing so, I don't think we got here, so I do want to extend as well gratitude and a huge thank you to everyone over at the Joe Budden Network.
That's right.
Because to be very fair, we are not moving forward without acknowledging that they were a great boost in who See the Thing is today.
Yeah.
And I don't think that this deal even happens fully to what the extent is without them. Not this early.
Yeah.
I will say I always had faith in Bridget aligning with you and us coming and really being able to share a voice that isn't really there in this podcast space, so to speak.
Yeah.
I think both of our experiences are a bit unique.
Absolutely.
And so I'm just really glad to have this opportunity to share this space with you. But
yes,
again,
I love it.
Round of applause.
Yes.
To you and I.
Yes.
We did it,
Joe. We did it, Joe.
We did it, Joe.
Damn.
I want to ask you though.
Yeah.
You have signed before as a music artist.
Yes.
And I kind of want to know how you felt the negotiations, the signing to Gumball, dealing with lawyers, dealing with agents, how that differed from your experience with signing to Rock Nation as a musical artist.
Well, the difference with music artists in general is that we have representation that help facilitate most of those conversations, right? And depending on where you're at in your life and in your career as an artist, when you go in to talk to a label, it's not you just talking one-on-one with a label, right? It's going to be your managers, your agents, your label people, your attorney. There's always a lot of cooks in the kitchen. And with podcasting, this is the first time where it's really just been us.
Welcome.
It's been you and I.
Welcome.
Just the two of us.
I mean, we've been having that conversation as well on the back end. Which, I love teaching and showing you the ropes, but I'm also confident in your ability to do so. But
Mandii.
I think that I didn't realize how much you had a team. And I'm like, bitch, this is all on us.
I was like,
everything is on us.
I was like, wait, so we don't have anyone to just do that? We'd be on the phone at 7:30 in the morning. I'm like, but Mandii, we don't have anyone to just press send.
Yeah, no.
Which, in a lot of ways, artists are spoiled in that regard. Right. I was very spoiled for a long time, and having people that did a lot of the correspondence for me on my behalf. I mean, granted, none of it happened without my knowledge. Like, I was always aware and a part of the conversation. But I think in terms of the actual execution, I think a lot of artists have. I don't want to say they have an advantage if they have a good team, and then they don't have to. For the most part, they have to show up. But I think for a lot of artists,
we've shouted out a lot of people's teams on here.
Yeah,
knowing that their success comes from a lot of the behind the scenes and team that they have.
Right.
Even more so than sometimes their talent.
Well, yeah.
It's a lot of their teams.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you guys, like in terms of, the thing is, and in terms of most podcasts out there, I mean, I can bring up Horrible Decisions. I can bring up Period Sis, other shows that I've been a part of, all of my friends. Shout out Need to Know. Savon does a lot of that stuff for Need to Know by himself. Yeah. Good Moms, Bad Choices, which you guys will hear on here soon.
Erica, Mila.
All of my friends and May on the back end. So all of the people who are a part of podcasting, you build up your own team.
Right.
But you are the manager.
Yep.
You are the producer. You are the owner. You are the founder. Mm-hmm. You are the CEO. And so even the people that you bring on that are part of your team,
right,
they're never going to tell us what to do. This is our show. And I think that when we have the conversations around IP, right? Mm-hmm. No one at this point, including Gumball, thank you for allowing us to keep full IP.
Yes.
Because let's just say there was a bidding war and other niggas wasn't trying to allow us, you know what I mean? The space to just even have full creative rights to a show that we created.
A lot of the deals actually that we got presented with looked like 360 deals from record labels.
Which you had to tell me.
Which I looked at a couple and I was like, it's a no for me, dog. It's a no for me.
Yeah.
Some of these deals, and it's, you know, I'm not going to obviously say any of the names, but some of the deals that we saw really resembled that of an artist 360 deal where they just take ownership, they take part in every creative step, they participate fully in revenue splits, and they own part of it with you, and they have the final say around how everything is executed and produced. Which, I mean, essentially is what happens with a lot of artists. They sign on. They could come in a complete finished product. Right. But they come in as a complete finished product. They don't have to do any artist development. They don't do any additional marketing, really. Or they set aside a budget for marketing, quote unquote, which doesn't really require them to have to do a lot of work, because they'll come in with a full YouTube following or a full Instagram following or SoundCloud following because they just released their own music themselves. And I think, you know, kudos to Gumball for really understanding and valuing the creative and respecting the process of the creative, because Dane was really adamant about making sure that we have the show, we have the ownership and the opportunity to create the show that we want to make.
Absolutely.
And thank you, Mandii, for trusting me, even though I'm new. I'm still a newborn. I'm a year old. You know, a bitch is walking a little bit, but we still new to the space. Mandii, you are such an incredible teammate, such an incredible partner on this platform, in this space. I have to give you your flowers because I feel like a lot of bitches be trying to snatch them from you, and I be ready to snatch wigs. And I'm just so grateful that you and I are able to navigate this space as owners, as creatives as well, and really like kick the door open and hold the door open for any other Black women, any other women of color, any other women, period, that want to sort of come into this space with their perspective, with their experience, with their voice, with their opinion, with their sense of humor, their sarcasm. We love it all. And I think, you know, thank you to Gumball and Shelby and Ben and Marcy for just being such an incredible, solid team to help get us to this next step and where we need to be.
Before we leave out of here, I do love and want to piggyback off of what you just said. We had the conversation last year where we saw the white women get the $60 million+ deal over at Spotify. And for two Black women to be sitting here and having a 7-figure deal, it does show that the market is out there for us.
That's right.
The dollars are out there for us. Yeah. And so if you get into these rooms and you really, really, really believe in what you're putting out, I would also say as hard as to listen, maybe you need to build up that audience just a little bit more before you take a deal. Maybe you need to bet on yourself a little bit more before you take, like you said, a lot of these artists are so hungry, they take the deal with whatever money because they need the money, and then they get fucked over when they become this huge, massive success.
That's right.
So just believe in yourself, and I'm glad to be a part of, I would say now, a movement where we know a lot of these networks and a lot of places are looking for Black girl magic and for our experience and our stories and the fact that it's now on a platform to be projected and we're now getting here being paid to be ourselves.
And Black girls.
Yes.
Charge these motherfuckers for your fucking magic. You hear me?
Yep.
Charge them for your magic. Because at this point, we've seen so many corporations tell on themselves about how much money they throw at and wastefully throw at a lot of these other creatives. And it's not to shit on them, and we don't subscribe to canceling people's voices. But I will say that we are noticing more and more the disparity between what Black creatives get and what white creatives get. And so if you are being granted an opportunity to present yourself, present your story, present your podcast, TV show, digital series, whatever it is that you're doing as a creative, know that you can tax these people because they fucking have it. The money is in there. The money is fucking there. And I told Mandii a few months ago, I gave her a number.
Did, which is
and we got the fucking number that I said, and I'm not going to tell you what the number is, but you just know it's 7 figures. No, but the number that I said came to pass. Okay, it came to pass. We manifested that shit. So yeah.
I love that.
I love it.
I love that for us.
So that's our week.
Yeah, that is our week. I do want to say, though, thank you as well just to everyone who supported us.
Yes.
We recently did our live Zoom chat.
Yes.
So if you are our friends on our Friends with Benefits tier on Patreon, we do a once a month kind of recap, and we actually let them know the news of this on a Wednesday.
Yes, we do.
We also just wanted to thank them because, again, and now I'm going to share it with the audience. In terms of what Patreon has meant for us as creators, we have not seen a dime from Patreon since we started Patreon.
So
In June. So what Patreon has kind of allowed us to do when we left the Joe Budden Network, Patreon is literally what paid for you, what pays for you, what pays for our team in post-production.
For that big ass fucking light behind Mandii. It paid for that light.
That y'all can't see in today's episode because we only have 3 cameras, not 4. But it paid for
the 3 and the 4 cameras.
Paid for the 3 and the 4. And it literally has allowed us to exist in this space and continue, because if you guys know, keeping up with the look of this, the social aspect of this, making sure that the quality of the thing is did not diminish when we became independent was very important to us.
Yes.
And so again, if you're a creator and you really have a following that supports you, again, Patreon is what has literally funded the keeping afloat. The thing is, so I know you be making fun of me like I'm the rich bitch. No, bitch, Patreon paid for all this. It didn't come out of my pocket. I was like, we're just not gonna see money, but we both believed in this so much.
It really is, and we do. I really want to thank everybody that joined the Zoom and everybody in our Friends with Benefits tier who sometimes are able to join and sometimes they're not. We do it. We try to do it at a time that's reasonable for everybody in every time zone.
Yeah.
But
bitch, we don't be considering Europe.
That's true.
We don't be considering the other side of the globe.
Maybe we could do a live show.
It's hard enough. Let me tell you real quick. It is hard enough to even just consider the goddamn West Coast. So, bitch, I was watching Big Brother last night with my mama because it was the season finale, even though Todrick didn't win and I wanted him to win. But apparently he was messy. But
Todrick was being nasty to people, I heard, though.
I mean, that's what you do sometimes in games.
Oh, God.
But anyways, so I'm literally watching it last night. It aired at 8 p.m. That is, I said, oh, bitch, you just getting off of work. How do people on the West Coast watch TV? I need to know. So, like, when shows come on the West Coast at
the same
8
way,
p.m.?
the same way that we watch award shows that start at 8 o'clock and they go until 11:30 midnight. You never noticed that? The Grammys be on at midnight on a Sunday. I used to be like, yo, y'all are dragging it. But it happens used to happen normally on the West Coast.
Really?
Yeah. So they don't start, like when you do Grammy prep, it takes a whole day because the Grammy starts at 5 o'clock on the West Coast.
Listen, the way my whole life would not even happen in California, because baby, if y'all thought y'all was gonna hear TV today, you're not. You know why? Because I got tricked. So I watched Big Brother last night. Then I was like, ooh, Snowfall is back.
Yeah.
Baby, hold on. Then they tricked me. It came on at 10, first off. My God. Came on at 10. Bitch, at 11:04, it's like, and stay tuned for more. I said, bitch, I had to Google. Bitch, it was a 2-episode premiere of Snowfall. And I said,
listen.
oh, baby, I'm going to have to catch you on demand. Because it's 11. It's my bedtime, bitch. I'm going to sleep.
Nah, I got through it. I did.
The
only reason I realized, though, that it was 2 is because I was falling asleep on the couch. And the bitch woke up. And I was like, oh, maybe they just going to play the same episode over again. No. It's brand new. So I was like, oh, shit, let me sit up. Let me lock in.
I think we're going to fit TV then into Tuesday's episode because, baby, I was like, oh. And then you thought, bitch, I was like, ooh, I'm going to wake up this morning and catch the Kanye doc. No, because my mama been in town all week. Shout out to Mama Tammy.
Miss Tammy, we love you.
Do you know I did not listen to one podcast between Monday and Thursday? So I got to catch up. I have to catch up. Girl, I started on Joe's this morning. I still got the read, Brilliant Idiots, and now I'm shouting out all the pods I listen to
Chris
weekly.
Fury.
By the way,
I want to get Chris Fury on here, to be honest. I would love to get Chris Fury on here.
I love them. But also, I wanted to shout out, just because we started off with podcasts that we like. This one is like none other that I've come across, and it's just amazing. I think I also like to listen to it too, because in talking last week, Monday, with Antoinette, discussing our fears, one of them being, failure. To me, there's a podcast that I recently started listening to. Hold on, I want to get you the name and I don't want to get it wrong. I want to say it's The Greatest Fail.
Ooh, that's a good.
Do you know which one I'm talking about?
That's a good name.
No,
for a podcast.
where is it? And they drop a lot. I don't know why it's not showing up. Oh, The Great Fail. I'm sorry. Oh. So it is The Great Fail, and it's inspired by true crime, which I told you I love some true crime.
Yes,
but it's actually a business podcast that examines the greatest success stories of the most prominent brands and profiles, and then leads to their demise. So it leads to like these great massive companies that were so amazing, and then they just end. Kind of like American Apparel. American Apparel, I'm sorry, my entire high school closet and club out.
Oh, girl.
Going out clothes was American Apparel.
I worked at American Apparel.
Wait,
I managed, yes, I opened an American Apparel store. I was a manager at American Apparel. Yes. I was all up and through everything. I had every single unitard, every single pair of leggings.
Why was we dressing like ballet dancers in the 70s? Because the way those motherfucking liquid leather, high waist, legging jeggings,
gold
what are they?
lame.
Why did they have a chokehold on us?
Why were we all running around here looking like Black Olivia Newton-John?
We looked
with leg warmers and fucking lame shorts.
Why did we put leg warmers
Not a roller skate in sight. Not a Venice Beach in sight. And a bitch was up and through with a leg warmer and a fucking lame short and a fluorescent fanny pack.
First off, do you want to hear what makes that worse?
What?
Why am I wearing leg warmers in Florida? Why the fuck did I have to? Why was I warming my calves? They wasn't cold.
The same way New York men went to Florida in their Timbs and they still had their Timbs on. Hot ass feet.
Yo, shut up.
I know your feet was hot.
But no, I did want to talk before we get into all of the mess. Yeah. Because it's been all the things.
Yeah.
This week.
Yeah.
Showed me that the world, I think we may possibly, I'm not going to really put it out there, we may see the world end during our lifetime, because let me tell you, yesterday, y'all, was 70 degrees in New York City in February. By the way, I hate that February is spelled that way. Because, like, why is there an R after the B? It could have just been February. That's how we say it anyway. You know what I mean? They be trying to complicate the English language, and then y'all be getting on me about not knowing words. Yeah, it's like, but I'm gonna blame the English.
Wednesday. We spell Wednesday like Wednesday, and we say it like we flip the letters. We flip the N and the D, and now it's Wednesday. I'm saying
Wednesday. I also don't know why there's a G in bologna or lasagna. Like, I don't even like that. And I thought, I ain't gonna hold you, a bitch had to cheat all through Spanish, because that's even worse. And I don't even know. Let me tell you real quick. I am confused, and y'all don't cancel me. How do people speak Spanish today? Because you know it's all feminine and masculine, but ain't that sensitive? You can't really feminize and masculinize words. So how do Spanish...
Masculinize?
I made it a word.
You cannot talk about another language and then use masculinize and fuck up your own language.
But what I'm saying is they do like L, Ayos and all that shit. So they ageist and sexist, but in this day and age, you shouldn't do it.
Spanish is actually an easier language than English.
No, it ain't.
It is, because
I learned it, and I didn't learn it well.
Then you didn't,
don't look at me.
You didn't learn it well, then you probably didn't learn it. It's not one of those.
I know the curse words and the foods and the numbers, bitch.
Okay, well, Spanish has a lot. Spanish and English they have a lot of cognates, right? Which are words that are similar. They sound similar.
Yep, they do.
So like school is escuela. You know what I mean? It's certain things. Music is música. Telefono. But yes, we're accent in the wrong place.
Bitch,
but it's
first
cool.
off, you black. Don't be correcting me with Spanish. You not Spanish either.
I got a 95 on the Spanish Regents, and anybody in New York knows that a Regents exam was really fucking hard. So hard, in fact, that they actually stopped doing it. I think, right? Didn't they stop doing the Regents exams recently? Do y'all remember? Did y'all take Regents exams?
Didn't you just get out of high school,
I was like,
girl?
yeah, y'all took Regents exams, right? Don't play with me.
Get out?
Don't make me. I'm old. I know a bitch is old, but don't make me
to Google it. Y'all is like Gen Z in here, okay?
No, they don't have Regents exams. But I got a 95 on the Spanish Regents. I spoke Spanish as a kid. I learned Spanish as a kid because I went to a Catholic school, first of all, and all the nuns were Dominican, and
because you didn't have a candy lady and had to go to the deli. That's why you learned Spanish.
Wow, that's racist.
Is it?
Yeah, it wasn't only.
Yeah, the delis in Chelsea ain't really like the one like a bodega. It's a deli in Chelsea.
No,
it's a bodega in the Bronx.
It's a deli now. When I was a kid, it was a bodega, baby.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Chelsea was not hot. Let me go ahead and clarify for y'all. Anybody watching Snowfall who looks at LA and is like, damn, LA was the hood back in the child. The 80s was the crack era. New York, most neighborhoods in New York were still not fire. Like Chelsea was not cute until Queer Eye for the Straight Guy and Chelsea Piers in 1996.
Shout out to Carson.
I'm so serious. It was not my mom bought the apartment that we spent the first 5 years of my life in Chelsea for $50,000. In Chelsea, baby.
But $50,000 back then was still a lot. Like it's inflation.
$50,000 back then is still
was like 200. 400, 500,000 today, right?
Yeah, but that's how much people were paying for houses anyway. That's how much you would have paid to live in Long Island at that point for a house. So it was still the same. Like when we think about property value now, like that's insane. Paying $50,000, people's cars cost $50,000 now. Like you're not gonna get a really nice car for less than $50,000. So
my friend got an expensive one.
It was not cute. The sad thing about Chelsea, though, I will say, is that because so much money was moved into the neighborhood with Chelsea Piers, and then Chelsea Market was right after that, and meatpacking totally transformed. Meatpacking was a horrific place. You did not want to be in meatpacking. I looked up
the history of that.
You did not want to be in meatpacking.
They was packing meat for sure.
Literally.
Right. No, literally. It's like where all the prostitutes were.
Yes.
And they was packing meat all right.
It was a lot of meat being packed.
A whole lot.
So
in every hole.
It was not a safe place. Like it was not a stushy, like snobby neighborhood till I was like a preteen.
And then I moved here in 2012, and baby, give me Griffin again on a Monday.
Please give me Griffin on a Monday night. God damn.
But yeah, so outside
or a greenhouse. Give me a greenhouse.
Speaking of greenhouse, with global warming, outside of the world ending, we literally just went from a pandemic to a world war. And again,
we're
y'all
not,
listen,
we're not in a
talk
world
about
war.
We're not yet, and we're not going to talk about it because this is not a political podcast. However, basically what happened, Putin, the nigga over there in Russia that was friends with Trump, he said, Ukraine, bitch, I want you, and grabbed it. That's kind of what's going on right now. And then all the other countries is like, bitch, you can't just be out here grabbing countries like that. So now the other countries is trying to come together and be like, you know what? We got to go tell this nigga this is not acceptable. And Putin said, all y'all trying to gang up on me? Hey, my brothers and them, I'm going to come and have them do all the nuclear shits to whoever want to come and step to me. And so now I'm just hoping that the U.S. stays out of it. Because if you ask me, New York ain't part of America, bro. We are kind of like a part of everything. Like we are a diverse little melting pot over here. And I just want to hope that they just exclude New York if they going to bring their shit over here, okay? But you know what, now that I think about it, and you know what? They are going to do it. You know why? Because the Trump Tower still exists. So as long as them Trump Towers still over there in the city, bitch, I think Putin going to leave him alone because that's his friend. Oh. I don't know, but this is not a political podcast, but that's kind of what's going on. Not at all,
but we do want to send our
prayers to Ukraine.
Want to send our thoughts and our prayers to Ukraine.
We do.
Because
I want to do that.
Early this morning, Russia officially invaded.
And the bombs.
Yeah, they officially invaded the borders of Ukraine. And the reason I don't want to talk too much about this is because I really am trying to understand and do a deeper dive into why this is becoming such an issue. I know that I'm reading something now on CNN that talks about mass protests in Kyiv in 2014 forced out a Russia-friendly president after he refused to sign an EU association agreement Russia responded by annexing the Ukrainian peninsula of Crimea and fomenting a separatist rebellion in Ukraine's east.
Baby,
so I think
someone
this.
wrote
I think
that?
this. Yeah, this is
All
CNN.
them big old words.
This is CNN. So
that's why.
despite a ceasefire agreement in 2015, the two sides have not seen a stable peace, and the front line has barely moved since. This is sounding like Israel Palestine.
Sounding like CNN. I don't understand.
All right,
sorry.
Well, it's sounding like there are some issues around the. Listen, as far as I'm concerned, all of this always has to do with money and natural resources, right? And so Moscow has been accused of engaging in hybrid warfare against Ukraine using cyber attacks, economic pressure.
This is not a political podcast. Now you getting too much into it.
Well, because I do want to give a little bit of context to what's currently happening, right?
We will
Russia,
put the link of CNN in the description of this episode.
We're also watching a lot of Republicans kind of flip-flop between the support of Russian nationalism and what is going on with them, and that to me is very scary, because that's the type of attitude that they have about America as well, that we can bang our chest and we're the fucking king of the jungle, and in fact that's not really the type of energy we need to have right now.
I'll be honest with you.
So I'm just hoping that I'm hoping that we do not get involved. I'm hoping that the countries surrounding the Ukraine can also that Europe can kind of get together and figure out how to handle this properly, but our thoughts and prayers are with the Ukrainian people.
100%. And my thoughts and prayers are to anyone living in Florida and Texas.
Okay.
Because if we're going to talk about the people who control all of these other countries, Greg Abbott needs to be, and we'll talk about that in another episode, but DeSantis, a lot of our governors and a lot of the people in control of a lot of the laws and the bills that are being passed in a lot of the states in our own country, bitch, I got a problem with that. So I know we're even, talking and discussing the potential of a world war, but civil wars, the way some of these states need to just be overturned with a lot of their governments as well. Listen, it just is. Listen.
I implore everybody living in these places to really seek information around your local legislation. Please. I have friends who live in Texas who don't feel like they're affected by a lot of these things. I really need y'all to step up to the plate. My friends in Florida, I know that a lot of these things do not affect some of y'all, but these are things that are eventually going to trickle down. They always trickle down.
Always.
So whatever you think your interests are, unless you making millions of dollars a year, which most of us are not.
Nope. Not even me.
Hello? None of the decisions being made by these administrations are meant to service, protect, or serve you. So please be mindful of that and look into your voting situation wherever you live. All right, you guys. Well, it is New Year, New Me, New Year's resolution time, which means it's time to prioritize our workout routines, but also our health. And I started taking athletic greens because I really wanted to experience something a little bit different, right? I think getting into a routine is really hard when you're trying to work out and eat right and cut foods out. And what about cravings and mood swings and all that stuff? And hormonally, as women too, it also gets really tricky.
But what about your greens? Is it easy for you to just eat greens every day?
Well, not really.
Me neither.
It's not that easy. But I will say it's lifestyle friendly, whether you eat keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, gluten-free. The multivitamin stuff is always really hard. And we always, if it's not Flintstones vitamins, we haven't taken them. It's tough to take vitamins and it makes me feel old. But at least with the multivitamin that comes with Athletic Greens, I feel like I'm getting all of my daily dose of everything. To make it even easier, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free year's supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/STTI. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/STTI to take ownership of your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. All right, guys, let's talk about how much of our lives revolve around relationships, especially with significant others.
Oh, you mean like me? If you are like me and break up with your man and get right back with him and then break up again, Talkspace may be for you.
That's right. Talkspace is a great resource for relationship issues, especially when you don't know what the problem is. And for those of us that have had some social issues in the last couple of years because of the pandemic, there's been so much pressure to get things right and we don't always have the answers. So Talkspace is a really great resource for any questions that you have about how to navigate navigate life in your interpersonal relationships.
And that's the thing. Your struggles and challenges may be unique, but it is time to talk to someone who understands that. No relationship is perfect. Y'all know I know that.
Me
I know
too,
that
sis.
all too well. But with the right tools and insight, your relationship can get stronger every day.
So join Talkspace today and start the journey to a happier and healthier relationship with everyone in your life.
Just visit Talkspace.com and get $100 off your first month when you use promo code See the Thing Is at sign up. That's $100 off at Talkspace.com. Promo code See the Thing Is.
Now let's get back to the show. Oh.
Hey. And we back. And we back. And we back. Hey.
It's Friday. It's Friday. Go Friday.
Y'all better go ahead and check that account because the check hit, baby.
Hello?
The check hit today, but then guess what, bitch? Rent
due in 4 days.
Rent due. No, bitch, 4 days.
I'm like, so we about to launch?
Bitch, rent due.
4 days.
That's crazy.
4 days?
You know what I always...
We about to go to war and pay rent in 4 days?
I always thought that the month of February should have been prorated.
I agree.
Like, they should have, like, the month of February should be, like, however they prorate your rent, they should remove them goddamn 3-4 days that we don't never get, ever.
Never.
Ever.
Why? Why is that?
Give us that money back because I ain't staying in this apartment the whole time. I'm paying in them other months for the rent. I hate it. You know where else I hate it? I just hate it here.
Wow.
I hate it here.
Where is here?
Because the way Twitter and the social media streets was wild this week. Listen, baby, I'm with my mama, and we out eating crab legs.
Let's
Shout
go,
out
crab
to
legs.
Antoinette, who could not have joined us.
Not without the EpiPen, girl. I'm gonna get you an EpiPen so you could be a hot girl with us this summer.
We gonna let you be a hot girl. But now we went to this all-you-can-eat seafood spot, and so we over there cracking crabs and all that shit. Bitch, next thing, I'm just reading. And first off, when certain people trend on Twitter, I'm just like, oh God, what happened? So all I saw was Tory Lanez.
Oh, shit.
Then I saw DJ Akademics. Then I saw Meg the Stallion. Then I saw Party. Then I saw fucking, I just kept seeing, then I saw Tasha K. And I'm just like, what is going on? So I'm not going to hold you. I did not think that in 2022, we would be back again speaking on Meg the Stallion and Tory Lanez, because if I'm not mistaken, bitch, we talked about this shit back in 2019. In season 1 of this show, very early on.
2020.
Is it 2020 we started?
Yeah, that's 2 years ago.
The way 2020 doesn't exist to me anymore is so crazy.
The way 2021 also came and went in 15 minutes.
Bro,
like,
look, I don't went all the way back to 2019.
I kind of want 2 years. I kind of want 2 years of my 30s back. I'm not going to hold you.
Oh, bitch, yes. Let me go back to 29,
like,
baby. I'm going to start telling these niggas I'm 29. Because the way I'm trying to talk to these little 24-year-olds now. Baby, I'm 29. 25, okay? But no, so I was on the Twitter timeline and...
seeing all this foolishness.
So basically, long story short, right? Because we have different pieces to pick apart here.
Yeah.
Akademics came out and just ran his mouth. Like a lot of these journalists continue to do, even despite the fact... Wait. Even despite the fact that Tasha K just got sued for goddamn defamation and doing what she did with Cardi B, DJ Akademics came out and said that there was some sort of DNA evidence that removed Tory from possibly being the shooter in this case, which again, you guys know of.
Can we not call him a journalist?
I don't even know why he calls. I don't know why he called himself a DJ.
Well, again, we
like, what is he besides the Mucinex monster? I don't know.
I don't know this man. I don't give a fuck about this man, truthfully and truly. But I really would refrain from calling him a journalist. I don't believe that anything that he reports on is journalistic in the slightest. And I think in order to be a journalist, the information and news that you present needs to be presented with some form of non-bias. And I think everything that I have heard him say on his platforms and stuff that gets regurgitated on other platforms always has a bias. And so
Bridget came out and said, she said, you know what?
I don't know him.
So maybe, okay.
No, I know who he, I just don't like, never met him, never been around him, don't know nothing, don't know his friends, don't know his real name, don't know none of that shit.
I mean, you know his friends. We were signed to one of his friends.
And so I don't really, I don't subscribe. Yeah, but they're not friends. They don't hang out. Like,
no, they friends.
They hang out?
They friends.
They don't hang out.
Y'all don't hang out with many people.
Then that's not your friend. I'm sorry. We're going to call that a colleague.
I ain't going to hold you. I have a lot of friends that I don't hang out with. We like different things, but I wouldn't just not call that person not my friend because we don't enjoy the same things. A lot of my friends I don't hang out. Not enjoying the same
things is not the same thing as not hanging out. You can hang out and do nothing, but if I don't hang out with you, hanging out is spending time. If I don't spend time with you, you're not really my friend. I also don't know
everyone's personal life and who does what, but
I'm just saying, nonetheless, I'm not calling nobody friends if I ain't seen y'all together. I ain't seen y'all tag each other, talk about each other. I don't see none of that love being shown, shared, spread. So I'm gonna just go ahead and say I don't know who's friends with who. I don't care. At the end of the day, I don't know that man from a hole in the wall. I just know I'm not a fan of what I see get posted online, and I'm definitely not going to give him the title of a journalist because Anderson Cooper is a journalist. That man, not no journalist. Or a DJ, apparently. He's not a DJ either.
I don't think I've ever seen him like, ow. I tried to scratch, but the way my voice is already scratchy.
Your voice scratched, so you didn't even need to add the scratch. It was just already there. But talk to me about this because I missed a lot of this stuff.
No, it's all there. Basically, they pretty much all just, for whatever reason, went to Twitter and Instagram with all of the words that they had for each other instead of just, I guess, calling each other. I'm pretty sure they all have each other's number.
Okay.
But Meg Thee Stallion pretty much denied claims that she fell out with her best friend over him. And I want to talk to that because she also didn't deny it. She said...
Wait, she denied claims or she didn't deny it? I'm confused.
Well, she responded to Tory Lanez, who said, "Good dick had me fucking 2 best friends and I got caught. That's why I apologized for. It's sick how you spun it though." That came from a response of Meg Thee Stallion, who posted text messages from Tory Lanez right after the shooting took place, where he simply apologized, said he wishes that none of this ever happened. She pretty much posted the text message insinuating that he apologized for shooting her. He had to then respond and was like, "Nah, none of that apology at all was for shooting you. I didn't say I shot you, but I am sorry for fucking you and your friend." She said, "Fucking 2 best friends? Nigga, you shot me. You know what's what you were apologizing for. You keep putting a narrative out that me and my friend fell out about you, and that's not true. Why are you skipping over the shooting? Just admit you shot me, because she definitely ain't do it, and I ain't shoot my damn self." Here's the thing. The thing is, God damn it. Probably should have named this goddamn podcast "Here's the Thing."
We couldn't. It was taken.
Oh, there we go. That might be the reason.
Yeah.
So the thing is, we've had this conversation time and time again. Kelsey and her have fallen out. So the fact that she's referring to this woman still as a friend is odd, because Kelsey has come out in an Instagram live and insinuated that Meg pushed up on Tory and started fucking Tory after he was already entertaining Kelsey. Which is crazy, because I know a lot of people would be like, well, Meg's the celebrity. I'm sure he met her through... Y'all would be surprised in this circle how many regular people know these celebrities and vice versa. You don't have to just be a celebrity to be sleeping on or fucking with a celebrity. So the fact that people just assume Kelsey met Tory through Meg is just a whole nother point.
Meg is my height, and Tory Lanez is
first off, the fact that
5 foot nothing. I'm baffled.
I ain't gonna hold you though. I'm
cool. Baffled.
He cool. He is cool.
No, I mean, I'm just baffled. I'm always baffled when I see women going through situations and there's a man in the middle of it, even if it's not a love triangle, but getting involved and getting messy with these men that are just not I just don't.
But I don't even think you can bring up height.
I don't get it.
When you have money and when you have status. We talk, bitch. Janet Jackson was dating Jermaine Dupri.
I know.
So to me,
I know. But she also admits to being in love. But Janet Jackson wasn't that much taller than Jermaine Dupri. Not with flats on. She wasn't that much taller.
Girl, I am the height I am with heels on. Do not acknowledge my height with flats on.
That's also because you're short, so you have to do that.
And I have a Napoleon complex. I mean, my thoughts on this: it was a lot. Also, and I know you don't want to call him a journalist, but can we talk about how men have different energy for women than the energy that they have for men?
Yeah. Well, we know that.
Yeah. Do we?
Yeah. We know that. We're used to that at this point. We're used to that. I watched the tone, the tone of voice change, the attitude change, the energy change.
Well, he was calling
when it comes to women because it's a lot easier. Yeah. It's a lot easier to be. It's a lot easier to act tough and puff your chest out when you're a man talking to women. That's weak shit. That's what weak men do.
Yeah, but the fact that he wanted to call Meg all types of bitches and this bitch, you don't even da 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 da. But when he got called a bitch to his face by Vic Mensa, that nigga said, "In what sense?" Now, can I ask you, if you get called a bitch ass, well, I'm gonna just say bitch ass hoe, puss ass nigga, because you know I'm from Florida. But in no way is someone going to insult me. And I respond, in what sense? Please explain. And what's crazy is Vic Mensa sat there and explained to that bitch ass nigga why he a bitch.
First of all, shout out Vic Mensa. Shout out to Vic Mensa.
Shout out to Vic Mensa. But it was so crazy. And I do want to say, if y'all came across that interview, people were like, damn, well, Vic Mensa sat there and said he want to slap 5 off DJ Akademics and didn't. He was on probation at the time. This was also a recorded interview. So him saying what he would have done.
But also as a grown ass man, and you sitting next adjacent to another man calling you a bitch, and you didn't say it, your response was, in what sense?
Taking it.
Like, sir, in what sense? We're not filling out a survey. What you mean, in what sense? This isn't like...
Not in what...
Like, what the fuck? In what sense? Like, can you use that in a sentence? Like, my guy, you at the spelling bee? He called you a bitch to your face, and you had no energy, zero smoke.
Zero smoke.
And now when it comes to a woman who
was shot by someone at this point.
No matter what the situation is. Yeah. This woman had some level of abuse or assault done to her. So it doesn't matter whether she was shot, whether somebody kicked her in the foot. It doesn't matter. The level, the extent. And to me, the fact that that's now being used in the argument as to why that determines the level of the reaction and the level of validity to what she went through is based on how difficult. Fellas. And I'm speaking directly to the healthy Black kings with sound minds and emotional intelligence. Please talk to these men who have empty heads when it comes to the dealings of women and the protection of women, Black women. Please talk to these men, because there's clearly a disconnect between the men that are willing to go to war and go to bat for us and the rest of men that just feel like our strength and our validity and our worth and our value is determined based on our resilience and our tolerance of bullshit from men.
Yep.
Black kings, I'm imploring you for the rest of this Black History Month, Black Future Month that we are in.
That's only one more day. Can we extend that a little bit?
Have a conversation with every man that you know in the next 4 or 5 days.
No, let's do the next month. Next month is Women's Month, girl.
I'm not even gonna give y'all a month because y'all are on Twitter y'all are on Twitter over this weekend, and y'all on social media scrolling, perusing on OnlyFans and the rest of the shit, watching Twitter on porn like porn Twitter like the rest of us. Take a break from that for a second and talk to the men in your lives about what y'all can do to protect Black women. Because I'm tired of this. I'm really tired of this. I'm tired of watching these weak ass men come on these platforms and shit on Black women, and Black men entertain it. They entertain it. They support it.
They do support it.
They contribute to the social commentary online.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's embarrassing. Please, men, do better.
And because this is a platform of balance and accountability.
Hello.
I do want to have another conversation to the women, if we can, because this whole situation is very much giving Nate, Maddie, and Cassie, and the way so many women, for whatever reason. Here's the thing. See, the thing is, I feel as though we talk about security with women. We talk about competition. Unknown competition sometimes amongst friends. And there's jealousy, there's envy, there's all of these things happening. But I cannot understand, by the grace of God, sorry, I had to get into my passive voice.
I know.
Why, as a woman, the choice of man that you would go to entertain or lay with or flirt with is the man that is with your friend. Is the man that is entertaining your friend. Is the man that is fucking your friend. And apparently, we see this all too often. If you go to our Patreon, we had an episode where we discussed this recently, where this is happening more often
than people are being honest about.
Than people are being honest about. Because a lot of even the television shows, this is a common narrative. It's a common theme.
Yeah.
And baby, I used to wake up every morning. I believe it came on around 11. Maury, do you know how many people go on there as well? And like they're having potential babies by their friends' baby daddies or their friends' mans or their friends' husbands even. And
I mean, that's Jerry Springer all day.
Now,
my husband slept with my sister. My husband slept with my friend.
Now, I want to make this very clear too, because if you compare this conversation, what I'm saying, to Monday's episode.
Yes.
I have empathy and am loyal to the fucking core to my friends. So while, yes, I have been a side chick before and I have dealt with potentially men who were with other women, never have I ever sat here and slept with a friend's man or a friend's husband or actually one time, but she brought me in because they like that type of thing.
Yeah, so we was all together. It was a them thing.
That was a them thing.
Yeah.
They flew me out and everything.
That's
so it was
different.
like, you
That's
know,
different.
It was different. But in spite of or behind the back of a friend, have I never done that. And I think it helps too that my type ain't none of my friends' types.
Oh, listen, that always helps. No, that really,
bitch,
seriously.
That helps. It's why we're not Eskimo sisters.
It's true. That is very true. I think that also solidifies friendships sometimes because, and it's interesting.
What part of it?
The fact that we don't like the same men, right? Which I think automatically off rip creates a very firm boundary between your friends and your partner, right? And it's funny because shout out to Bleu, that's my girl. She had tweeted a thread recently regarding, you know, making sure that as a woman you are respectful and you don't really become close friends with your friend's partner. Regardless of what it may look like, even when men get comfortable with women, they develop a trust and whatever they're comfortable, their guard goes down. And sometimes the example that she gave was that sometimes a man in that situation will unconsciously violate his relationship by trusting her more, even as a friend, like completely unconsciously just establishing that level of comfort and friendship and familiarity, which then can get a little tricky between girlfriends,
right? The lines can be blurred.
The lines can be blurred. And I think, you know, and we'll talk about this with one of our guests next week, but there's a thread as well that I found on Twitter regarding a man as a husband trying to figure out what he wants to do. Yeah.
It's what's also crazy about that, and I want to lean into another war that we had on Instagram and Twitter lately, but I remember, and I'll just share this story quickly, even with you and I, we're neighbors. Your man looks at me like a sister in a lot of ways. But I came to your house one time. This was summertime, and I had on these little shorts. And
Geeks was out.
It was just brought up that my shorts was mad little. And I was like, bitch, it's hot outside. God damn it. And literally when I left, as soon as I left, I hit up Bridget immediately. And I was like, listen, I just want you to know I don't ever want to disrespect you. And me showing up in those shorts, if they did make anyone feel uncomfortable, I apologize to you and your partner in your relationship.
Yes.
Just because I think, even as women, and you know me, bitch, I'm gonna have the titties
free,
out.
sis.
I'm a free-spirited woman, and I think that if you are a woman that's that way as well, to just also just acknowledge your presence in front of your friends that may not be. And I did that.
We talked about that with Eric and Mila on our Good Moms Bad Choices. If y'all are not familiar with Good Moms Bad Choices, make sure you check that podcast out as well.
They'll be on the pod in a couple weeks or next week or soon.
And we love them. We love them very much because they are funny, sarcastic, and free-spirited women just like us. And that was one of the things that Mila had mentioned was that, you know, she had a tattoo like really high up on her thigh and was super excited about showing it. Like, yo, look what I got done, and wasn't even thinking of it being something as like of an exposure type of thing. And it was received that way, even though that wasn't her intention. And I think with women, we have a much harder time figuring out what our boundaries are and enforcing them than we discuss with each other. And I think as friends, it's so important to have that, to just establish that level of understanding. around
ladies do that shit.
Around what things, you know what I mean? We struggle with it. We struggle with boundaries, with keeping boundaries ourselves. We struggle with honoring other people's boundaries, I think sometimes, especially if we don't have boundaries ourselves. Right. And so with our friends, I think it's a really important thing. And this makes me sad to watch because you're right. I think we do see a lot. There's a lot of situations where women are fucking each other's friends. Women are fucking each other's men, and it just kind of becomes this normalized thing, which in my mind, the promiscuity aspect of it isn't the part that should be frowned upon. I want to make the distinction. It's the betrayal of trust.
100%.
Right?
And also, if y'all thought we was going to get deeper into them tweets and this drama,
no.
Baby, you could go back to about 5 other episodes from season 1.
To last year.
When we was talking about this shit, okay? Yeah, y'all could go back to 2020.
I don't want to give it any more life, but I will say.
until April 5th when they go back to trial.
Right.
And we get the real tea.
Right.
Because that's what I need is the real tea.
I do hope that they stop posting this stuff online.
Girl, we ain't oversharing. We already talked about it. It ain't gonna happen.
I mean, I think it's beyond oversharing at this point.
I think we've already bypassed.
So.
We're gonna keep getting this. We just gonna keep getting it. I wanted to go to another versus.
Ooh.
Girl, Bleu, the new artist, Bleu Vandross, I think his name is.
Young Bleu.
Oh, I'm saying his Instagram name. Huh? Whatever. Bitch, y'all know I don't really be knowing these motherfuckers like that for real. But Bleu versus Tank. And y'all, what's crazy is, hold on. Y'all know it was me versus Tank on one of these episodes. And I actually am in Tank's defense on this one.
Wow.
I am. And here's why. So I want to read basically, Bleu retweeted someone saying that Young Bleu might be the new king of R&B. This brother make bangers only. The Shade Room retweeted or posted this retweet, and Tank wrote a comment underneath and said, "I'm glad I'm from a different generation because y'all wild," with the laughing emojis. Bleu went into a crybaby ass bag. I don't even want to read all this shit because it's giving bitch shit. But he pretty much just said, another episode of a bitter old man. Tank, you still waiting on that verse. That's why you mad. You supposed to be an OG. You commenting on the Shade Room. Blah, 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 blah. He then thought it made him look good by tweeting, once again, a text conversation between he and Tank. However, it was not a conversation.
Oh, my God.
Apparently, he had reached out to Tank on some platform and said, yo, we got to work together. Tank sent him a beat. And you pretty much see within the span of over a week, he just chose to ignore Tank's comments. He was checking in. Did you get the record? Checking in, bro. You fucking with it? And then at the very end, just say, you know what, my guy? It's all good. If you don't want to do the record, me sending you the record was in response to you saying, let's get something done. In any event, it's always good to communicate. And then the message cuts off. But this is why I'm on Tank's side. Do you know how many of us do business, not only with each other, but sometimes want to just axe out the middlemen? And in the music industry, in the podcasting industry, in a lot of these businesses, we don't have the opportunity to just come straight to the creative and really create as a creative. Right. So to see that this new artist was so disrespectful to just not even respond and say, listen, my man, I'm busy getting booked at all these festivals, which, baby, I ain't seen your name on many. So what are you so busy doing that you can't even motherfucking respond?
I'm also not acknowledging anybody else with the word Bleu in their name because y'all already watched a couple episodes back. I was like, who? Blue baby? Blue face? Blue what?
I think that was for Blueface though.
No, there was a whole.
It was for him?
It wasn't him.
It was the Battles of the Blues or something.
It was somebody else. Who's the guy? Who's
Baby
from
Blue.
Him?
From Pretty Ricky.
Jesus Christ. It was that and then the guy that has the brothel that's like the new Taz's Angels. Blueface.
When I tell you, the way you just sounded like a whole Auntie Bridget.
Bruh,
baby.
I'm not acknowledging nobody else with blue in your name. Like with all the colors, you gotta be blue. There's all these fucking blues and I'm wearing blue today and I'm irritated. Like, the fuck out of here. I'm sick of it. You know what I hate about shit like this too is like, if you don't, some of y'all really got to fucking humble yourselves as artists. And
I hate that word though. I hate that word.
You can hate it all you want. As an artist, the energy on the fucking internet doesn't match the energy in real life. And I'm happy that Tank posted that text message conversation because in real life, when you're an artist, you want to work and you want to create and you want to collaborate. And you're never too good to collaborate as an artist. You're never too big to collaborate and work with somebody else, right? The one thing I will say, I'm gonna go back to All-Star Weekend for a second, because something I loved watching and hearing about the younger athletes is how happy they are to get acknowledgement and to be in the same room as the people that came before them. And for whatever reason, artists don't know how to do that anymore. And it's fucked up.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you listen to Giannis, and Giannis talking about, man, I ran into Allen Iverson, and Allen Iverson knew who I was. Like, he knew my stats. Like, he'd been following me, and he thought I was a great player, and that just meant so much to me. We don't hear artists talk about each other like that anymore.
We don't.
And that's why I say there's a difference. The humbling of yourself is not to say dim your light. It's to say show respect to people that came before you that have put in more fucking work than the amount of years that you've been alive. Just keep it keep it cute. Be respectful. That's all.
Keep it cute.
Be humble doesn't mean in this instance,
and be respectful.
Yeah, it doesn't. Be humble doesn't mean you gotta minimize yourself. But what the fuck you coming at Tank for? Like, and also, no shade. I'm putting all my fucking money on Tank, singing any one of these young people out the fucking.
Well, no, and that's the
under
thing,
the table.
and that's where then
like,
you had to realize
here.
he didn't know who he was talking to.
Clearly,
because then he goes to say, "Yeah, you may be able to sing better than me, but I got a pen game," as if he was insinuating that Tank did not also write for people. If y'all watching on YouTube,
you could put your computer
Hold on. I need to let them know.
Wait, what?
These titties is not lactating. It's just I tried to drink water, and because I'm also a child, auntie, grandma, a bitch is a mess. So if they look, I just don't want them to think is milk coming out these titties. It is essential water. Sorry, Bridget. I've been trying to figure out how to cover that. I just spilled all my water on the side.
I just watched you spill it, and I was like,
and then shout out to Rob. He's making sure the camera stays on you while I'm like, ah.
I'm watching her just have this whole episode, and I'm like, what is going on over here? But all right.
But now that I'm looking, I'm like, let me let these motherfuckers know a bitch ain't pregnant. And before we get to Freshly Squeezed, I had one more thing to talk about in this. While we're talking about music.
Yeah.
And you being a goddamn musical artist, specifically an R&B singer, I want to know your why are you doing that? Like this is a cheer, bitch. Y'all, yeah. I want to know your thoughts on Summer Walker. So I'm bringing up Summer Walker because she recently had a show in, I believe it was Atlanta, but it was supposed to be for Still Over It, her most recent masterpiece of work. According to y'all know I don't really like the project, but I want to play the snippet for what she told her audience. She cut one of her songs from the new project.
Okay. I cannot sing that song, but I just wanted to talk to y'all for a second. For anybody who came here and was like, oh, she didn't do Reciprocate, she didn't do Circuit, she didn't do Session 33, I didn't do a lot of songs from the new album. I want you to know that, this is real. Like, I write a lot of my stuff, I write most of my stuff. And, it's still a fresh wound. My baby, she's not even one yet.
Oh, Atlanta.
I got time to be up here singing that right in front of y'all. So I sang what I could, and I hope that y'all still enjoy the show.
Now, baby, not to bring the queen of the internet on here, but if Beyonce just told y'all she wasn't gonna sing Lemonade, if Adele just came up and was like, as a matter of fact, I know y'all just got this new project, but I'm not gonna sing any of those songs because, it came from a real place and I'm still healing. And Summer, baby, I want to know your thoughts because we just talked about new artists as it pertains to a male artist not respecting an OG.
Yeah.
But this now, and I understand we've discussed mental health with Summer Walker as well, but what are your thoughts as an artist? Because you also spoke to the fact that a lot of times the things that you're going through are things that go into an album and normally you're past it by then.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on her? This clearly being fresh. We all see London on the track walking around out here with Shinsea, which is probably why she really jealous. Because, baby, you with Larry and London that got a whole bad bitch, but we not going to talk about that either. We'll say that for another time.
But also, Shinsea, out of all the guys.
Out of all of the guys.
Anyway.
Shinsea could have had anybody.
Literally.
She could have had me. Sorry. But what are your thoughts on, as an artist, coming out with a new project and saying that you're still healing through it so you don't want to perform it?
I think I have two. There's two things I want to say that I think are really important to consider.
Okay.
The first thing I will say is that I think she has to. I'll start with this, right? Mary J. Blige still sings "Not Gonna Cry." 26 years later,
and she cries.
And she still, a lot of her songs were written and recorded during a really emotionally trying and tumultuous time of her life, and she still gets up and performs them years after the fact. The reason being, I'm sure, because number one, they are songs that connect very deeply to her audience.
Yeah.
But also it's a part of who she is, right? It's unfortunate as a woman that a lot of what we pride ourselves on musically has been heartbreak, but it just is what it is at this point, I think. And we're celebrated when we're broken, unfortunately, as artists. We're more celebrated when we're broken than when we're happy. We don't like
R&B singers when they
We don't like happy shit. We don't. There was a period of time
that's when we get dancery.
We were looking at Alicia Keys like, sis, what the fuck is this? You fell. You were falling and you fell, and now you got back up, and now you're on fire, bitch. We didn't ask for this. We didn't come here for this.
Sis, I need you to fall.
You were
again.
happy. You got married. Yeah, like you got happy. You had a family. It's blended family. It's kids. Like it's euphoria for you. It's bliss, and the rest of us is over here like, well, fuck. We ain't getting no Diary of Alicia Keys no more.
Oh.
I think there's something to be said about the fact that as fans of artists, we don't necessarily celebrate when artists are happy, because that's not always their best music. Right. That's the first thing I will say. The second thing I will say is that if nothing else, for Summer, I think the lesson in this should be not to share everything on the fucking internet, so that you're not having to relive the shit every day of your life.
Yeah.
All the time, so that by the time it comes to executing something professionally and creatively on your end, it's not something that you can have any control over, because the conversation is already in the atmosphere on social media, and with different narratives and different spins and different undertones and hateful shit and double standards, and then all of the embarrassment and heartache and disappointment and shame that's attached to her experience now.
Yeah.
Her fans don't get to be a part of the healing process with her, because she's not healing anymore. She's not healing.
Right.
You can't heal when you're constantly posting shit and leaving things up to the internet to create stories around you and talk about you and gossip about you. Take the shit off the fucking internet, sis. That's first things first, so that when it comes time to perform, you can start to begin to separate some of that, right? Because I think you are doing your fans a disservice when you're selling tickets and you're selling an experience, and you're not able, and it's okay if you're not able to show up. But if you're not able to show up, then you also should not be able to continue to sabotage yourself emotionally and put all of your business out there all the time, so that everybody feels like they are entitled to that. But like, also, we've trained audiences to feel entitled to all the shit.
Well, however, as a fan, if I'm buying a ticket to a show and you just dropped a project, as a fan, as a consumer, as someone who just spent my money, there is a bit of entitlement to me to feel as though I'm going to get what I paid for.
But also, I feel entitled to experience your experience because of what the standard and tone that you set for the type of artist that you are. Yep. So if you're giving me 150% all the time in every other area, of course I'm going to expect it in your music. You're a music artist. So maybe scale back your exposure and your sharing publicly in other areas, so that you can just really focus on performing and perfecting that aspect of your craft, right? Because at the end of the day, it is a performance. You are professionally showing up to perform. That's why.
Now, Summer said, I ain't no actor, ho. This is really my feelings.
But you're not supposed to. But right. Performing isn't acting. Performing is literally performing. You're entertaining. So if there is a part of your craft and your passion and your talent that is no longer allowing you to be an entertainer and do it for entertainment purposes, something else has to give. And I think that's got to be a boundary that she figures out how to set, because
I agree.
Mary's still doing it. I mean, almost every other artist is doing it.
Beyonce.
And the thing about Adele is too, I don't know what her husband looks like. I don't know when they filed for divorce. I don't know how old her son is. I don't know none of her business, bro. So if she's getting up and she's performing these records, even if she cries and says, I can't, I have a hard time doing this because I'm still healing. I'll take that from Adele because sis, I don't know all the ins and the outs. Right. The assumption from us as fans of Summer is that we know all of it. So if we know all of it, we're judging all of it, we're going to make our own opinions about it and again, feel entitled to it. So
you're right.
Yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
Online shopping is not slowing down anytime soon. Y'all know during the pandemic, I started a whole subscription box company and shipped out merch to you guys, and I would not have been able to do it with ease if it was not for ShipStation. With ShipStation, you'll never worry about shipping again. Make the switch to a solution that handles all of your shipping needs quickly, affordably, and painlessly. The crazy thing about ShipStation is you are offered different type of rates for your labels when going through them, whether you're shipping out one or whether you're shipping out hundreds. The label costing really does go up. And of course, ShipStation offers the best rates. So save money when you compare carrier options and choose the best shipping solution every time. Save your sanity knowing your orders are handled and you're getting the best rates. So make shipping the easy part of having an online store. You have bigger ideas to think about. Ship more in less time with ShipStation. Use our offer code STTI to get a 60-day free trial. That's 2 months free of no hassle, stress-free shipping. ShipStation, make ship happen.
Do you know what time it is?
Do you know what time it is?
It's time for Freshly Squeezed. Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
So this week, in lieu of
all the verses,
in lieu of all the internet beef and
World War III
and world beef, yeah, in lieu of all of this random and all these random attacks, yeah. We're gonna do our Freshly Squeezed this week is gonna be fight songs. We're gonna come up with some Fight Club songs
like this. And we thought it made the most sense because this song right now, you at your desk right now, now you want to go fight your boss.
Now you putting your fist in your hand.
That's what you doing.
That's what you doing right now.
You hear this song and you looking over at your coworker like, bitch, I really don't even like you like that.
Like I hope my boss doesn't say shit to me. It's fucking Friday.
You know, but no, we literally was like, you know what? What are some good like fight songs that when you heard in the club, that you just were like, you know what? This is what it is. I'm gonna play 2 songs.
Oh yeah,
that get me crunk and going. Nuck If You Buck had. Sorry, that was just an honorable mention that had to like lead us into this conversation because that song and what it has done for our culture, which probably is more destruction than not, is just so beautiful. But also,
not so beautiful.
But not only was it so beautiful, the reason why it was beautiful because as we speak to men,
yes,
and as we speak to women,
yes,
it is one of the only fight songs that men and women came together and created a fucking masterpiece. Yeah. Shout out to Diamond and Princess.
Yes.
And guess what? I don't even know the niggas' names. That's how good I felt like that song was.
Yeah.
That the women on the song had way better goddamn verses than motherfucking the men. And I don't think we normally get to see that very often.
Yeah.
The only other time I do remember it happening, and y'all know I don't even like this woman. However, Nicki Minaj on Monster. Killed,
bodied everybody,
bodied your faves.
Yeah, and I turned the song off usually after her verse. I'd be like, okay.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, her verse is what plays in the club, and then it goes to the next song. Right. I'm a motherfucker boss. You know, it turns us all into, what is that person's name? Ruben. What's her other?
Roman.
Roman. Whatever.
Ruben. Not the sandwich.
I knew it was
it's
something.
Roman. Roman's Revenge.
That, okay. Well, then
Roman.
We turn into Roman.
I love that. That was so fire. It was so theatrical.
I know
I'm here for that shit.
I know it started with a goddamn R. I was close.
Her and Lady Gaga with the theatrics, I was always here for. Meat dresses, fucking chicken wings on the necklet. Like, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So, it was great. Good times.
The song that I want to play now probably did get me into a fight because I did fight at a strip club one time.
Really?
I did.
Was this when you fought the girl outside? Was this the bouncer?
Yes, this was the bouncer girl. I fought in the club, lost both my phones. But this song was out around that time. This song wasn't around that time. However, it's from the South and it still gets played. So I want to shout out to some people that y'all in New York may not know. They go by the name Trailville.
If you went to an HBCU in the early mid 2000s, you know this fucking record.
Hey, we used to just say this. You could never ever,
Never.
Hold on, here we go.
Ever.
Get him on. Hold what?
Yeah.
What? Hold on. I'm sorry. I have to pause this real quick. Why have we never discussed how Lil Jon made a fucking living off of yelling "what" into every song between I'm gonna age myself. Yeah, say it. To about 2004 or 5. We was getting what?
2002 to 2005. When did Love in the Club come out?
I was gonna say we even got it on R&B records, my nigga. Why? How do you go from? Let me know before I pull it out.
I remember being like, yo, that is the creepiest shit. No one thinks that that's hot. Like, don't pull it out in the club. That's not.
Oh, no, I think he was in some pussy.
I know. I'm just. No, he was trying to get pussy. That's why he was saying, like, you know, one of the friends.
Hold on.
Lovers and Friends. It was a Lovers and Friends song.
Yeah, we might need to pull up them lyrics.
Tell me again, my baby. That song.
We'll be lovers.
Not Love in the Club. It was Lovers and Friends. Yeah, he had to shout it. It was that whole verse. I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? Don't pull your dick out in the club.
No, I think he should let me know when he gonna pull it out my pussy. Cause like sometimes a man is gonna like let you know when he gonna pull it out. Cause that means he either wants it in your mouth, on your face, or somewhere, and he's just giving you a warning.
Lovers and Friends lyrics.
I've been knowing for a long time. Shawty, but fucking never crossed my mind.
See?
But tonight I seen something in you that made me want to get with you.
Right.
You ain't been nothing but a friend to me. Bitch, I'm going to be a rapper. Hold on.
You can be if you're doing this shit.
Oh, here we go. Are you sure you want to go this route? Shout out, by the way.
Yeah.
Lil Jon, thank you for making consent cool. Niggas, hold on. Now I'm going to talk to y'all fellas. If you were ever like, how do you even make consent sexy? I don't know what to say.
Let me know before I pull it out.
I would never, ever cross the line.
Okay.
Okay. You know what?
Yeah.
Once again, hold on. We're going to give a round of applause.
Come on, Lil Jon.
To motherfucking Lil Jon, because maybe I was just too young at the time, but I did not know he was out here making goddamn consent sexy. And I just want to say thank you, Lil Jon, for all that you did.
Because I was over here like, what is he talking about? Why is he pulling it out?
Bitch, he was asking for consent.
So you sure you want to go this route?
Damn, shout out to you, Lil Jon. That's cute.
Asking twice. You sure you want to go this route?
And the other song that I want to play for you guys, I talk about...
Lovers and Friends is not the fight song,
No,
by the way.
Lovers and Friends is not a fight song. However, if your friend is fucking your lover, it could be.
In 2022.
It could be.
That's what it's looking like.
My other song that I want to play, and I'm not sure, I feel like I may have played this in season 1. However, one of my favorite songs I constantly bring up about him is Attitude Adjuster. Oh, Vice Versa is one too. Vice Versa.
Let's go, Pastor.
Oh, should I play both? Vice Versa. I don't think Vice Versa is a fight song though. So this next song is someone who I was in love with before I could even date men with facial hair. I had a huge affinity for the long ass fucking beards that they used to have.
Shout out to Philly, man.
But this is a Georgia beard. It wasn't a Philly beards go all the way out.
And they're out all the way.
Nah, the southern, the Pastor Troy beard.
It's just long.
Was just the goatee
area. So it's very Amish.
Oh my God.
Got it.
But he's black.
Yeah, it's okay.
Damn, don't say I like black Amish. Can black people be Amish?
I don't know. Let me look that up. Can black people...
No, girl, we need Wi-Fi.
Can black people be Amish? My Google searches, by the way, today are fucking lit.
What?
Yes, there are a few.
There's a few. There's a few of them. Like 3 of them niggas.
Yes, called Schwartz Amish.
Oh, where they live at?
I mean, Pennsylvania, probably that's where most of the Amish people live.
Really?
A lot of Amish people live in Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
Because they live off of the land. That's part of their. And there's a lot. If you've ever been driven through Pennsylvania outside of the cities, it's all land. It's all grain, plains, and grain fields. It's nice.
All right. Well,
anyway, moving on.
Shout out to everyone in Georgia.
Yeah, with the beards.
Georgia. This is my other fight song. That not a whole skit in the beginning. I don't even know. Hold on. P ain't here, nigga. Oh, We gonna go to war. Now listen. I think they stopped playing this one in the club. I think
they had to. Yeah.
I think they listen. Ain't no more playing G8. Ain't no more playing G8.
Wow.
I want to talk to a bitch like this. I ain't even gonna hold you. Listen here, bitch. What's your name? Say your name.
That's so crazy. Wow.
By the way, he also has another song that starts out, and I think it's his song. We ready.
Jesus.
I don't even know if that's Pastor Troy though. We ready ain't Pastor Troy, is it?
No.
Who sang that song? We ready. We ready for y'all. Is that? I don't even know if that's really the words, but I think so. We ready for y'all. How do I find who say that? I feel like everybody say that. Who that?
I think it's this looks like Archie Eversole. Hold on.
Oh, it would be somebody. Oh, wait, that is not Bubba Sparks.
With Bubba Sparks?
No way, bitch. Okay, this is what happens when a Gen Z person sends us a song.
Wait,
no,
please look it up.
I had to play this.
Please look it up.
There's no way.
I don't know if it is this. I might be this.
Bro, ain't no way I'm sitting here saying we going to a fight song with Bubba Sparks. No, bitch. Is this it?
Not during Black History Month.
Not
Is this it? Yeah, it is.
Shit.
Bubba Sparks.
That's the remake. No way.
No, it's Archie Eversole.
We were
Bubba
fighting
Sparks.
to Bubba Sparks. Hold on. I need to zoom.
Wow. Yeah.
That's all they say the whole time? That wasn't Bubba Sparks.
No, it's Archie Eversole. Never heard of him before.
Wait one motherfucking minute.
Yeah. 2002.
We were fighting to a song featuring Bubba Sparks.
Yeah.
By the way,
that's crazy.
On our live chat on Patreon, we realized how many young people do listen to this podcast. And so real quick, why I'm making this reference as to why I can't believe Bubba Sparks was a part of a fight song is because not only was he a white man, but this is Bubba Sparks. Bubba Sparks was Miss New Booty.
I like Bubba Sparks.
I found you, Miss New Booty. First off,
bring it back to
now
me.
Y'all
are cute. Give me
by the way, now y'all are way too lit at your desk, and
yes,
Bridget's gonna share these songs before we get and wrap it up with our Friday food for thought.
You know what's so crazy
Talk to me
about these fight songs? Like all the fight songs that I have too are also from the South. Like I'm trying to find. I'm sitting here like, are there any Locks records that are fight songs? There probably are, right? But I couldn't think of one.
Not
just
even
off.
from Dipset.
Dipset didn't make fight records. They're Harlem.
I'm 18 and live a crazy life and know what the ladies like.
Nothing about that is a fight song.
That is definitely Joel's.
Ma, what's your age and type?
She looked at me and said, "You a baby, right?"
Laugh like, yeah, sure, you're right. Tell me who fighting.
Oh wait.
50 Cent definitely has some fight.
Okay, but I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't make you want to fight. It talks about like, nigga, you not finna try me and you don't want to fight me. Like I would say Many Men.
Yeah, Many Men is definitely one of those.
It doesn't make
you know what else? The 50 Cent Eminem record, Patiently Waiting. Patiently Waiting to me was always
can
a
we
good,
play that?
Yeah.
Oh my,
that was definitely.
I'm patiently waiting for a track to come. No, but Explode. Oh, Explode.
You can front if you want and your ass will get rolled on.
Oh, we gotta play that. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah.
There you go. You gotta play something from up north. We can't make this all Southern.
This song is definitely one of those. Yeah.
Look at me. Y'all know I got the lyrics wrong too on that. You heard me? It's all good.
Yeah.
Trading waiting for a track to explode on.
You can stun if you want and your ass to get rolled on.
Look, I said blowed on.
Been hot for so long. If you think that I'm a fucking bowler.
Maybe
so this isn't a fight song, but.
To me, this is talking about I'm gonna be a great rapper. This doesn't make me want to fight.
This doesn't give me fight song.
No. Many Men doesn't either, but I love that. Many men wish death upon me.
Oh,
blood
wait
in my eyes. You found one?
Yeah, and actually
it's a New York record.
Yeah, and this is definitely
Give it
one.
to me.
This is definitely one that that Jay just sent me too. She was like, "Wait a minute, hold on."
Because I was about to say, y'all soft, y'all some pussies up in the north. Y'all ain't got no motherfucking.
Absolutely a fight song.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
We're bringing it back.
Yeah.
With trumpets. Okay.
I'll whip your head, boy.
Okay.
You remember this with Young Buck?
By the way, Young Buck, that's a Southern artist.
Yeah, it's 50 song though. It's still 50
I'm
song.
just saying, you still had to get a New York fight song, the South still had to be present. Hey.
I got one.
You got another one?
Yeah.
Give it to me, friend. And then we gonna wrap it up because I feel like y'all done all fought your coworkers, your classmates, probably your mama for telling you to go do them goddamn dishes for the third time. And you like, nah, mama, I ain't gonna do them goddamn dishes. Fuck you talking about, mama. And now you grounded and you gonna blame us. Sorry. No video games for you this weekend.
Wow.
Sorry.
We just can't. Let me tell you something.
Sorry.
We really don't know how to leave gamers alone. We just don't know. We just can't.
Sorry, my man.
Yeah. I mean,
give me another one.
The Locks Bout Shit. That's with DMX.
Okay.
That's new-ish. I'm trying to find. Yeah, nah. The songs I was gonna play were all Southern
from
songs.
the South. So I'll play. Let's play one more.
I mean, you know which one I was gonna play.
Talk to me.
I mean,
introduce it.
It's Bone Crusher, baby.
You did say that one
because, yeah, that to me when that came
actually,
on, which to me
there is actually, and I'm gonna play this version.
My New Yorkers are gonna roast me tomorrow that I didn't know any New York fight songs.
You know why they can't roast you? Surprisingly, Cameron is featured on this record. So you have an up north person on there.
Shot nigga in the club
and you think I'm a never
am
I a punk. I'm gonna pause it right there. I just realized.
What?
Did you hear what he just said? This is why these songs don't exist in New York.
Because you can't be outside strapped.
Gun laws.
Yeah. It's true.
That nigga said he just went to his trunk and pulled out the 9 on that nigga. You cannot do that in New York, which makes me feel a little bit more safe up here. I'm not gonna lie. Even though it's the reason I didn't go to St. John's University, had a full ride, and I said, New York, I'm too scared. But yeah, I ain't never scared.
I ain't never scared. Which is not true anymore, because now everybody's just on Twitter.
And it's saying that, not that I'm shouting him out, but Tory Lanez read for filth Party because Party decided to join his happy ass into all of the mess this week. And Tory just responded ever so politely, like, nigga, you done already see me in person and ain't do nothing. Get your ass up off Twitter. Just get off Twitter.
Get your grown ass off Twitter.
Hey, take your finger off of the Twitter trigger. Because, baby, you done see me and ain't said a goddamn thing. So take your ass on. Log out. Turn your phone off. Hold on to the app and drag it so that you're not even using up your battery life with the app. Because,
but also, like, people who are not really about it, people who are only about it online will then be the first ones to, like, you know, try to press charges on you for actively doing what you said you were going to do, which I also think is pussy and whack as fuck. But, you know.
And we are not speaking of Danny Lay's brother here.
No.
However.
No.
And if the shoe fits.
But I mean.
Like, you can't be out here threatening people and saying, I'm going to whoop your ass. Then you get your ass whooped and now you suing. Because, baby, if you won that fight, I don't think you would have sued. You would have went on all the blogs and talked your shit.
But also, you got to know your audience. Like, the videos look like he was really going to have a conversation and not really trying to press somebody. But how are you going to have a conversation with somebody who can't even talk to a woman respectfully? You thought he was going to sit there and entertain your lecture and your you thought that was going to happen without you getting chin chopped?
If you talking about people being smart,
there
ain't no way in hell I'm fighting anybody who beat a murder charge. And that nigga killed a whole nigga in a Walmart parking lot.
I mean,
and it's still. I mean, it was self-defense regardless.
I was gonna say, let's be honest. He in that situation, in that instance, that was definitely self-defense.
But you also know what it gives.
And he was
good
with
aim.
And he was with his baby. He was with his baby in a Walmart.
I just feel like there's no way I'm starting an argument with someone who beat that type of charge. Just saying.
I'm not
just saying.
But it's also like you gonna pull up to have a conversation with somebody at a bowling alley where he's with security and he's more concerned about making sure he doesn't get embarrassed or like what do we do? People are dumb. People are dumb. What is wrong with y'all? Dumb.
Well, guys, we said that we were introducing a new segment, and this is what we're going to get out to today. So we have Friday Food for Thought.
Yes.
And do you want me to actually play the clip for them to hear it, just so that we don't spend a lot of time explaining?
Yes.
So Bridget found this clip from Keke Palmer.
Yes.
And I'm just going to play it so that y'all can listen to it, and then we'll deep dive into it.
Mm-hmm.
But here we go.
So I've always been a very positive person. I remember as a kid, my mom used to always say, you know, everybody's not going to like you. Everybody's not going to be happy. You know, some people are unhappy. Some people want to stay unhappy and they don't even know. And growing up, they used to really just bother me because I'm like, you know, everything doesn't have to be negative. Like, it can be positive. Like, I always felt like I could uplift something or, you know, or just felt like there's a different way you could look at it and da-da-da. But then I just feel like I started to realize that like negativity has to exist because that's how positivity exists. The polarity, the science of it all, the metaphysical aspects of it. It's just like it's never going to go away. And that my mother was always right. And that, yes, some people are going to always be negative. I finally accepted that. And it feels great. But my question is, does that make me jaded?
And that was her take on everything.
So the food for thought that I wanted to pose is that oftentimes when we discuss wanting to change things for the better, when we discuss wanting to leave our footprint and our legacy in a way that is empowering and encouraging and uplifting, we don't really talk about all the other negative aspects of our experience and of our lives that contribute to that and contribute to our perspective on things. And something that I wanted to bring it obviously to the pod to talk to Mandii about, because a lot of what I think has been so incredible about your journey, Mandii, has been how unapologetically yourself you always are, and how open and confident and free and funny you are with everything that you do. And I think for a lot of people that's threatening, right? And it's off-putting because it triggers people that aren't that confident. We always talk about how, and we talk about it on Good Moms Bad Choices podcast as well. If you haven't, sign up for their Patreon and our Patreon.
But check out our episode over there. Yeah.
And something that we talked about was creating space, right? When you come into a room, you have an incredible presence, you have a loud voice, you are funny, your light is bright, and you don't dim your light for anyone. And similarly to Keke, I think a lot of people are more inclined.
By the way, shout out to Keke Palmer.
Shout out to Keke Palmer. We love her.
She is that person though.
Yeah.
Like she was a part of our live show in LA for Horrible Decisions. Again, just shout out to Keke because just her energy and meeting her and her coming up with her boyfriend on stage. She's that person as well.
She's that person who wants to, similarly to me, because I'm the kumbaya ass
You
bitch,
are, bitch.
wants to create community and fellowship and have all of that peaceful, high vibrational energy. And sometimes it's just not possible, right? So in the process of acknowledging that it may not be possible for everybody, does that make you jaded? If you just kind of give up and don't feel inclined to bring that positive energy and don't feel inclined to try to create, a silver lining in an experience, does that mean you're jaded?
Here's the thing. And in pre-production we got into a whole talk about this.
Yes.
The word jaded has a negative connotation to it, right?
Yes.
However, what you also just said, there's a difference in showing up positive in a room full of people because you care about what they're going to think about you. And there's a difference with showing up in a positive light because that genuinely makes you feel good. It makes me feel good to walk into a room and laugh and smile and joke with people.
Whether it's received or not. Okay.
And I think so in viewing how you show up with other people, to me, I told you, the number one thing that I've been able to live with now is knowing that we have just one life. I exist in this world for as long as I exist in it. And the last thing I'm going to do is drain myself with trying to please everyone, trying to uplift everyone. We have this common saying that misery loves company.
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
Absolutely.
And so...
happiness loves company too, by the way.
Happiness does love company. And so to me, I'm no longer trying to serve anyone in trying to make them like me and trying to make them agree with me and because my experiences are what shaped me. They're what shaped you. And when we talk about, I like how she brought up the metaphysicist, science,
metaphysical, yes.
whatever shit of this all is. And looking at positivity and negativity, you can also look at good and bad. You can look at good morals, bad morals.
Hot and cold.
Hot and cold. But here's the thing. All of those things are truly subjective as well. Like, I could sit here and somebody could tell me chitlins is the best motherfucking thing they done put in their mouth and they love it. And I'm gonna look at them and be like, ew, that's nasty, gross. I don't like chitlins. But that's to them. If we sit here and look at, let's make it more general, monogamy. The way we view monogamy in the Western hemisphere and Western culture completely differs from how they view monogamy or non-monogamy in the Middle East. Right. Religions, those are all subjective in who they praise in their faith. And so when we look at what's good and what's bad, unfortunately, what's good for me may not be good for you. I think shout out to our sponsor for next week coming in terms of diet and skincare. Right. What works for you is not going to work for me. And so in hearing her talk about this, the last thing as a positive soul or a happy being that I'm going to do is sit here and sulk or think about the negativity in life. Because if we sit here and think about the negativity, it'll do what you said earlier in the show. Yeah. You're going to manifest negativity.
Of course.
So if you think of the positive, if you think of numbers that you want to hit in salary, if you think about goals that you want to reach, we talk about manifesting all the time. And I do think that it works the same if you are thinking about negativity, if you're thinking about the things that can go wrong. And again, bringing up Monday's episode, this is what I even talked about in therapy. Right. If I'm living in fear, I'm never going to be able to enjoy my success in the present. Right. Because I'm living in the fear of what's to come. Right. I'm living in the fear of running from my past instead of truly living and enjoying the present.
But living in fear also can be because you can be jaded. And I say you can be jaded in the sense that in what sense?
In what sense?
In the sense you could be jaded in the sense that a lot of the decisions that we make are shaped by our experiences. And if we somehow circumstantially get the same result that's not the outcome that we want, that naturally is going to have an impact on our approach the next time around. It's like when somebody gets their heart broken, right? If you've gotten your heart really broken, you're at first you're gonna be fragile, you're gonna be vulnerable, and you're not gonna want to just jump right back into something right away. That's not like. But if you're jaded, then your perspective on relationships is gonna be that every outcome is that you get hurt. And so I think, when you are a positive person that naturally wants to lead with optimism and love, and it's constantly hitting this opposition and this like rejection from people, it is hard to keep showing up at that same level of high frequency and high energy and high optimism and positivity when it's always met with negativity.
I mean, to be honest, we talked about this like in being in a whole new podcast and working with new people. Yep. I've had the struggle of almost wanted to be like, damn, is it me? And so in terms of how I've showed up with this show with you and our last co-host, I was like, let me do things differently and see if they yield a different result. Right. And for one of our co-hosts, it still didn't work. And that actually
really
hurt me because I said, yo, I showed up so differently than I showed up with anyone in the past. I was giving solutions. I was showing up being thoughtful. I was doing all these things that still yielded a similar result to what I've received in past relationships. And when I brought this to therapy, I said, it makes me just, I just don't give a fuck about nobody no more.
I'm never going to do this again.
I said, I'm never going to show up nice again. And I'm never going to do this again. And it did. In that very moment, I was jaded because I'm like, yo, even when I'm the best person I can possibly be, I brought this up even about what I've shown up as in a relationship.
Yes.
Damn, I showed up the best bitch ever and it still didn't work out. And a part of these things, again, just bring me back to life, but understanding that we are all so different and our experiences are so different, and what triggers us and what makes us happy and what baggage we have is also different, that I can't hold that against who I am as a person with how someone receives me.
Right.
And that is something I had to deal with in therapy when, we lost a co-host here, because that actually did make me jaded because I felt like I showed up better and it didn't work. So I'm like, fuck it, nothing works then. Let me just
go back to my old
shit.
I'm
gonna just be a bitch.
Right.
And I had to work through that because I couldn't allow someone else's reaction to me to turn me into a jaded or a worse person than who I am.
Well, sometimes there's positive effects of being jaded too, because I think you can make a decision around the disappointment in your life that happens, and in accepting and understanding that it was not your doing and and there's no fault to be had, like there's no blame to place on yourself, then you can detach yourself from the disappointment, right? Like you can be disappointed without being a part of the disappointment, if that makes sense. And then the next time around, like the same way that when we were talking about your breakup and you had said, as much as I am,
last breakup, not the first one, not the second one,
the most recent one, the most recent one this week's. When you had said, you were like, again, like regardless of whatever else, I do look forward to feeling the good feelings again.
Yes.
And my desire for those feelings is not going to be like shunned or pushed to the side because of my disappointment with this specific person. I still want those feelings. I'll just find someone else to feel those feelings with, which is probably the bravest thing I've ever heard you say, because most people can't do that. Most people have a really hard time separating their pain from the pleasure, that the potential pleasure that exists in the future. And I commend you for it. And I would also just like to, share with everybody that's listening that the food for thought this week is to not be defined by your disappointment. Whether it's something that happens circumstantially in your life, in your career, in your relationships, people are going to let you down. It just is, it's life. It's natural. It happens. It doesn't mean you have to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Such an old ass expression. I know.
You done turned grandma on our ass,
yeah, you
baby.
spilling water. You can't. I'm over here throwing out expressions from the 60s. Like, but it's true. You can't, you don't have to throw everything out just because, there's a little bit of a hiccup. There's a little bit of a scratch, you know what I mean? Certain things that are bruised and bent aren't always broken. So, just practice discernment and free yourself of that, of feeling like, you got to hold on to the disappointment and move and shake only through that. Just be easy and be gentle with yourself.
Not free yourself by Fantasia.
Free yourself.
Not free yourself coming to my mind from Fantasia.
Yes.
No, guys, but again, we are super, super, super grateful that you guys continue to tune into us each and every Tuesday and Friday. Again, if you want to visually see us and my non-lactating titty this week, you can go on over to our See the Thing Is Podcast YouTube page. Type in See the Thing Is Podcast. It should pop up, and all of our full episodes are there so you can enjoy us. Those drop every Wednesday and Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, this is the song we're getting out to this week because hold on, here we go. And if you don't know this song, you are way too young. But baby, again, we want to shout out again to Gumball, our team over at UTA, and everyone who sat here and made things possible.
Our friends with benefits, our friends in real life.
But also, again, all those people that continue to rock with us and show up on this couch. And again, shout out to our patrons.
Yes.
I want to give a shout out to Trev, to Mimi, to Soup, to Barry, to AJ for reading my ass on my defense mechanisms with men. Shout out to those of you who really join us on the Discord week in and week out.
Yes.
We thank you guys greatly. One of them.
We're just grateful.
With that. There we go. We grateful. Also, guys,
and we rich, bitch.
Hey, I gotta get a drop for us now because this subtle flex is brought to you by
Facts.
Shout out to us. And again, we have a lot of new things coming this year, and I hope that you guys enjoy all of the new content.
Stay tuned, man.
We love you guys. Until next week.
Have a great weekend.
Bye,
Save your paycheck.